far beyond the frozen seas and the northern mountains. Beyond the lands known to Viking sailors, the old sagas spoke of something far greater than kingdoms or oceans. They spoke of Yggdrasil, the World Tree. According to the oldest Norse legends, Yggdrasil was the great tree that connected all realms of existence. Its roots stretched deep beneath the world, touching the lands of gods, giants, and the dead. Most people believed it was only a myth, a story told by skalds beside winter fires. But deep beneath the frozen earth, something ancient still fed on the roots of the world. Something with scales darker than night. Something that had been waiting for centuries. The creature's name was Níðhöggr, the dragon of the World Tree. The sagas said Níðhöggr, beneath the deepest roots of Yggdrasil, endlessly chewing the ancient roots in the darkness. It was a creature of decay, destruction, and endless hunger. Few had ever seen it. Fewer had survived. For generations the northern lands remained quiet, until the earthquakes began. Across the frozen valleys, the earth started trembling without warning. Massive cracks opened in the ground, swallowing forests and villages alike. Strange black smoke rose from the deepest fissures, and sometimes a roar echoed from beneath the earth. In the Viking settlement of Níðhöggr, a warrior named Sigurd Rootbreaker listened to the frightened villagers. Sigurd had fought many monsters during his life, creatures of ice, sea, and shadow. But the stories the villagers brought him were unlike anything he had heard before. The earth itself was breaking, and something enormous was moving beneath it. One night the tremors became stronger. The ground beneath Níðhöggr shook violently as a deep crack tore through the center of the valley. Trees collapsed into the darkness as the earth split open. Sigurd ran toward the fissure. The crack was massive, a wound in the earth itself that descended into endless darkness. From below came a sound, a slow, grinding noise like stone being crushed. Then something moved. Two glowing red eyes opened in the depths of the fissure. The ground began shaking again. Massive claws gripped the edge of the crack as an enormous creature slowly pulled itself toward the surface. The dragon emerged from the darkness. Its body was longer than a Viking longship and covered in jagged black scales. Smoke drifted from its mouth as its wings slowly unfolded beneath the moonlight. The dragon of the World Tree had awakened. The villagers ran in terror. Sigurd stood his ground. If the dragon truly came from beneath the roots of the world, then letting it roam the land would bring nothing but destruction. Sigurd raised his runic spear. The dragon roared. The sound echoed across the valley like thunder. The creature lunged forward, its massive claws tearing through the frozen ground as it attacked. Sigurd dodged the first strike, and drove his spear into the dragon's side. The weapon struck deep, glowing with ancient runes as it pierced the dragon's scales. But the creature barely reacted. Níðhöggr was far older than any dragon Sigurd had faced before. The dragon swung its massive tail across the ground, throwing Sigurd into the snow. The impact nearly knocked the air from his lungs. The creature opened its jaws. Black fire erupted from its mouth, burning the frozen earth where Sigurd had been standing moments before. Sigurd rolled aside and grabbed his spear again. Then he noticed something strange. The dragon's chest glowed faintly red between its scales. The creature's heart. Sigurd waited for the dragon to attack again. When Níðhöggr lunged forward with another roar, Sigurd ran directly toward it. At the last moment he leaped forward and drove his spear upward into the glowing center of the dragoness chest. The runes exploded with light. The dragon screamed. The valley shook violently as the creature staggered backward toward the massive crack in the earth. For a moment the dragon struggled, then the ancient fissure beneath it collapsed. The ground swallowed the creature once more. The dragon disappeared back into the darkness beneath the world. Silence slowly returned to the valley. The earth stopped shaking. Sigurd stood at the edge of the broken ground, breathing heavily. The dragon had not died. Creatures that ancient could not be killed so easily, but it had returned to the depths beneath the roots of the world, far below the surface. Níðhöggr continued chewing, waiting, because one day, when the roots of the world finally break, the realms themselves will fall.